Are we live? Welcome everybody to This Is Super Easy, the podcast. I mean the musical. No, I had it right. Welcome everybody. We like to talk about video games and random ridiculous stuff as well, and we're in it right now. And welcome. Sorry we're a little late tonight, but we've all got lives. My dog shit on the carpet.
Yep, that is legitimately why we are late.
So
Josh's
anyway,
dog took a giant dump.
not gonna lie to you guys. But here we are. We're back. We're in it. I'm making her an amazing 5-course meal to settle that tum. So don't you worry. But we played some video games this week, and we got some fun stuff going on in the show. Pass it to Paul to get us kicked off. What are we doing? What do we do? Yeah. Sounds boring for you.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
Oh, nice. Sounds fun. Getting smashed. That's good though, right? You know, someone's got to. That's how we roll. Okay. Digimon, digital monsters.
Whoa, I haven't heard that theme song in a while.
Yeah, right. Change into digital champions to save the
What?
digital world. Did you? No, I like.
Thank
all
God
those
we
theme
had
songs.
Josh
I remember the words to that.
to
I
sing the
remember all of
Digimon
those
theme song while
Dude, I
my
remember all
mic was
of them.
muted. God damn it! Every time I do a Windows update, it just wipes my
I figured
stuff.
we had a second so I could sing it real quick.
Okay. Well, what I was saying, while I was muted, was that my wife's best friend got married yesterday. We had a really great time. We were out really late though, but we were being the responsible adults, being the dedicated drivers and whatnot, and making sure everything was cool. Did manage to play some games and also like hella Digimon, which is why Josh was
Singing the Digimon
theme song is what that was about. So while Josh is away, Zach, why don't you? He's taking care of his dog. His dog's shitting.
No, his dog's literally sitting right there.
You were saying?
Oh yeah, she is sitting right there. You can't see Jade on stream, but
What's up?
Josh.
Me first.
Yeah, why don't you go first? Because I know I know you got stuff to take care of. It does look like you're threatening me with that spatula.
I'm just making a delicacy for my sweet, sweet Jade before she poops everywhere.
All right, yeah.
I couldn't find. There's no pumpkin in the store. I was like, that's kind of fucked up.
Pumpkin.
Poops tomorrow, poops every
Pumpkin
day.
is good for the tum.
Oh, it's good for the tum tum. I didn't
Helps
know
them
dogs
light.
could eat pumpkin.
They can eat so much
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
but also shouldn't eat
They
a lot of
can't eat
stuff.
poisonous mushrooms. My parents'
Wow.
puppy found that out
Jesus.
yesterday.
That's very. Who knew poisonous items were bad for dogs?
Yeah, wild.
Interesting.
Josh, what'd you play
This-
this week,
this
man?
puppy
What
is
video
fine,
games did
just
you
saying.
play?
What video games did I play? So, of course, I'll be talking about it further in depth as we reach into our retro series of reviews for
Hey,
games. I'm just going to go with. So, I played StarFox this week. Probably the highlight of the weeks. Was that this week?
Yes.
yeah, it was
When
this
did I
week.
play
Yeah,
that?
it was
that was this
Wednesday,
week.
I think.
Yeah.
a few days ago.
You guys
Yeah.
inspired me. I was
Wednesday or
like, all right,
Thursday.
I do
It
kinda
was
wanna play
Wednesday
that.
because I had to leave early to
That's
start my
right,
stream.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right. That was a good one. And then I played a bunch of Skyward Sword. I have things to say.
Me
Love
too.
it. I've been looking into a lot of the lore as well. I have a video I want
The
both
lore
of you
is
to watch.
awesome.
But you can't watch this video yet. I showed it to Colin. He was like, "Holy shit!" The Japanese version is.
I posted that in our Discord.
Did you? You got that from,
I posted that in our Discord.
I found it on my own.
Yeah. Okay, but it's in our Discord. I already posted it. I
The one
posted it
about
like
Demise?
yep.
Oh wow, that's so fucking funny.
I actually did stop
What are the
watching it
odds?
because it was
should
getting
not
heavily into
finish that.
spoiler
It
territories.
is
The
completely spoiler based.
The stuff that I had seen, I already did know, but like it was definitely getting into spoiler stuff. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
pumping the brakes. But I made a big fucking deal about this like a week or two on our Discord.
I will say, anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, join the Discord and check out this video.
Yeah.
It is amazing. There's a lot of lore
I'll,
that they kind of
I'll repost
Americanized
it.
for Zelda, and it's kind of annoying. And I feel like it'd
Can
be
you
well,
repost
we
it
kind of
last week
still.
too, Paul?
I would not watch it, Zach, if I were you.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
Dude, RPD tries to get me to watch things all the time, and I'm like, yo, I don't have the bandwidth or time
I
or
can't.
energy to do this,
Or want spoilers.
or want spoilers.
Dude,
That's the
So-
big one.
yeah, I can vouch for that one.
Spoiler City. Paul's like, fuck.
Spoiler City.
But aside from that, I'm writing a script right now for a cartoon. It's kind of my thing right now, so I'm not as gaming as
cool.
much. Isn't that fun?
That's really cool. Like,
is
what
really
can
neat.
you
Can
can you
all
give
voice
us
it.
a little bit of?
A little bit of
You know,
info.
like a little-
I've Colin has read it. I wonder what he thinks about it. I know it's not that big a deal, but I've been like, really, it's kind of like an adventure timey, dystopian, magic draining from the world type society, and there are people that can still use it and are trying to bring it back to the world type thing. And it's kind of like adventure timey in nature, as in like how the characters like talk and interact with each other, and how like similar illustration would be. But yeah, dude, it's really fun writing this thing. I'm like, I just
All
kinda
right,
wanna
I
try something.
reposted that that lore
Then
video.
I'm gonna be voicing it because I don't have an artist, so we're gonna record the whole script basically, and then like post it somewhere
Awesome.
before we get an artist.
I
I
haven't done voice acting
reposted.
in a while, but I love doing it.
Yes, let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are all hired.
So awesome.
But yeah. And then so that's my week. Would you repost the video? But it's really
Yeah,
only
yeah,
for
it's in
people that
the
don't-
Skyward Sword sub thread of the
no,
video
he's
games chat.
not the art style precisely about like no. It's not gonna be exactly like the Adam like hates it. But it's gonna be like in that like that nature is more like the vibe is what I'm saying, not necessarily the art style. I haven't really landed on art style yet. I'm open to interpretation opinions.
Dude, you should hire Adam to do your art.
I would absolutely
That seems
hire
like a
Adam.
huge
What?
mistake
So
considering his bandwidth right now, or lack
what, is it a
thereof.
mistake?
I'm half kidding. Don't do that.
I would maybe do what
I think.
because,
Well, you know what?
that'd be
Talk
amazing,
amongst
dude. Why don't you-
yourselves, because
how
if
about
he's
this,
interested,
Adam?
I can't speak for Adam. If it's a
If you're
project that he's interested
DM me
in,
that you want to read
Yeah.
the script when it's done. If you don't want to read the script, don't DM me. But if you do want to read the script when I'm done with it, which is going to be like tonight or tomorrow, then DM me that you want it, and I'll send it to you, and you see what you think. Yeah,
dope.
All right,
I'll just drop it in the Discord. Probably everyone can read it. Fuck it.
there you go.
There you go. That's
Hey,
even easier.
there you go. That's it.
Anyway, that's what I did. Let me go check on Jade's food.
Right
I'll
on.
be back in a sec for the
Zach,
thing.
what'd you
Yeah,
do
the
this week?
thing.
What'd you play this week?
So, I made a mistake this week, and that is I spent $5 on a month-long subscription to Motor Trend on Demand. I have been
Random.
watching nothing but Top Gear,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and I
yeah,
am
yeah.
deep down a rabbit hole now. And also the new episode of the Grand Tour, because it's freaking fantastic.
I still haven't had a chance to
Oh
watch
my!
it.
Watch Clarkson's Farm first.
Mm.
Just do it. Do yourself that favor.
Yeah.
But because it does, like they kind of allude to it a couple times, and it's I think funnier if you know Clarkson's Farm.
Sure, yeah, of course.
So needless to say, I kind of forgot to play video games this week. I played Arkham Knight, grinded through a bunch more side quests,
Yeah.
and I played a bunch of Skyward Sword because I can do that while I'm watching Top Gear. It's fairly, mindless enough that I can handle that. But yeah, other than that, pretty much didn't play games, which
Yeah.
actually, admittedly, like, again, coming right off vacation week, having been in the woods, like it's still kind of, I still kind of want to be off the radar.
Sure,
and
yeah.
unplug a little bit. Spent a lot of time in the comic mines sorting. My boss just bought another collection, which we all yelled at him for.
Dude.
But it's fine. Like, it gives me stuff to do and keeps me entertained. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I played was Arkham Knight and Skyward Sword.
I know it's not comics, but I finally got that's not part of it. I've got 1 through 6 of Vagabond. I mean, manga's comic adjacent, right?
Yeah, and absolutely.
1 through 6 of Vagabond. Freaking number 4. This one was the hardest one to get so far. I mean, there's still some other really rare ones out there, but I think this one is probably the most difficult one. I know it's getting keyed out a lot, but holy shit. That's normally like, you know, between like $500 and $800.
Oh my god.
I got it for 50, I want to say. So
Seems fine.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I figure
considering what I've spent on comic books in the last decade, like that's very reasonable.
Dude, it's like I don't know what like my host brother when I was in Japan gave me his set of these in Japanese, and I still have those. And I bought a few of them in English, but I never completed the set. And I think there's 31 or 32 volumes. And like I had a conversation, I think with my brother-in-law actually, about manga, and like it just kind of clicked in my head, and I became obsessed all of a sudden. I had also just started reading through and collecting Berserk, and
yes.
Oh, I just got shit, man. This just came. This is excited about this. Knocking shit over. This one's the second edition of the like the
big,
super nice volumes. Yeah, the first one's still on back order, but I think I have 1 through 4 of these ordered currently. But like they're super hard to get right now. So
I mean that is a weird thing about comics and manga production is like they'll go out of print forever for a while, and they'll just become really hard to get, which
These
drives
are
up the
still in
second
print.
market like crazy. I know,
yeah,
but like they do weird things.
Vagabond is not in print. They do like the Viz Big, like the omnibus ones, but the regular volumes, these are out of print. But all of Berserk is still in print, but those big ones in particular, the leather bound volumes, those are just impossible to get right now because ever since the author / artist died, like it's been flying off the shelves like hotcakes. So
I had a run of the Dragon Ball collections, and for when I was in high school, there was one volume. I think it was like volume 5 or something like that. I could not get. None of the stores had it. I ended up getting it in French, which I do speak French, so I can understand, or I can read French. And so like to this day, I still don't have Dragon Ball Volume 5, even though I can easily get it. I have it in French instead.
I have a few. I don't have any of original Dragon Ball, but I've got a few Japanese Dragon Ball Z mangas and a few of the English ones. Adam, when we were in Japan, I think got the whole set of Z in Japanese while we were there. I could be wrong about that, but if he didn't get the whole set, it was damn close. Oh, he got DBZ through to the Cell games. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
It was, but pretty badass. Anyway, I also played video games this week.
Oh yeah, is that where we?
We hadn't gotten past that. We went on a manga rabbit trail.
Dave's already finished her bowl.
Fantastic.
She loved it, every drop of rice.
But yeah, I'm still playing Skyward Sword. That's my main game on stream right now, which I'm really enjoying so far. I just finished the what's the third one in the desert?
Lanayru.
Yeah, Lanayru. That was awesome. That was so much fun. Really great temple.
The Temple of Time, should we say?
Yeah, I mean it is called the Temple of Time, so yes, that tracks.
The first one.
I struggled a little bit with the controls in it, but then once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, no, this is fine. Can handle.
I don't think I had any problems with the controls
a lot.
Yeah,
I had to recalibrate quite a bit. It was like every time I basically like pulled out an item because there's so much movement in this dungeon. I was like, just turning sideways, and I was like, oh no, gotta recalibrate.
That does drive me nuts.
And like your hand feels weird re-pointing at the middle because you're still turning, so like you don't always recalibrate correctly. And I'm like, there's some issues with recalibration.
Yeah.
Well, even I mean, in my case, I'm still playing handheld, but I get used to just tapping the recalibrate button a bunch. I'm probably gonna wear out that shoulder button.
Yeah.
Oops. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm still really enjoying it though, and that temple was a treat, honestly. Like that was the time mechanic was really cool.
That was a cool one.
The boss was really cool. Like the whole bit.
Easy.
Well,
Yeah.
this was very straightforward.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty
still
easy.
challenging. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Scorpions was
this.
a thematic thing, so I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Just you wait, boy howdy. That's
Sure.
like the kid. That's like the first 3 dungeons in Ocarina of Time, and now
Yeah.
boom.
That's kind of what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
It's
kind of
already-
typical Zelda style, like to kind of like warm you up a little bit, and then they're gonna like turn on the gas. But yeah, I'm
this
still really
next
enjoying it.
slew is incredible. Yeah, the end of the game is absolutely amazing. There are some parts I'm not going to say too much, but that are just like a lot of work. But the game rewards. It rewards. I want to see what you guys think. At the
I also
ending.
played Mark of the Ninja remastered. We did that for Samurai Saturday. Very cool game. RPD got me that as a gift, which was really nice of him. It's a game that my brother's been recommending that I play for a very long time. It's a very, very like intricately made stealth game in 2D, which I think is very unique. So it's like side-scrolling ninja stuff, but it does a very good job of implementing a stealth system that it's just very robust. It's hard, but it's good. My one complaint about it is, and this is a real nitpicky, stupid thing that like I shouldn't complain about, but I do, and you guys are gonna have to hear about it, is that I don't appreciate ninja in modern times. Like, I think
No, I get that.
I think it should be like, ninja should be in ninja times or Cyber Shadow.
It doesn't even make sense.
Or
to have
Cyber Shadow. That's the exception.
Yeah.
I agree with you largely, Paul, but like I almost feel like it should be reclassified in some way for modern. Like I can appreciate it, but it just doesn't feel like ninja anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what has always bothered me about it, but like it's kind of like that, like, I don't know, like the 80s like American Ninja bullshit, like it just doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't feel right, Like the whole reason why Ninja worked is because like the people that they were ninjaing against didn't have like freaking heat cameras or thermal cameras and guns, like that's the whole reason it worked back in the day.
Only a ninja because you could be stealthy and all that shit. Like you can't do that if someone can just shoot you. Yeah,
and that's not to say that those mechanics in this game aren't done well. They're done very well. It's an awesome game. I'm not knocking the game at all. I'm knocking the placement of So it's a cool game. I really enjoyed it. I may continue to play that on Samurai Saturday, though it doesn't really fall into the classification of a samurai game. But I might just do that in my personal time. But yeah, that's I also played a lot of Pokemon. Not a lot, but just kind of like my daily stuff in Pokemon Unite. Josh, have you checked that out yet?
Dude, the loading and the training was like so long. I was getting so bored. But then when I played a round and then I played a second round, I was like, okay, I can see the appeal, but it's also really slow moving around. And like all of a sudden, big dudes come out of nowhere. There's like no incentive for me to like move away from my base. I don't know. Maybe I'm not playing right.
Sounds like you're definitely not playing right.
I'm just like killing people that come to my base and I'm defending it. And I'm like,
yeah.
And then I go slam dunk a bunch of balls.
I think you should do the training because it teaches you how to play.
Oh, it was boring.
Okay. Well, never mind. I really enjoy it still.
It is. No, the game is. It seems fun. Yeah. One more bite.
Yeah, it really, really, really sounds like you're not playing it right though. Like not trying to. I don't know.
Yeah, it was late.
Give it another shot. Like, especially like if you implement like traditional, and I had to learn this. I didn't know anything about. I'm not a MOBA guy, right? The only MOBA I've ever played is a dead one called Paragon. It was a very fun game. It was a cool game, but it got sacrificed on the altar of Fortnite. Because it was an epic game and it just didn't get the attention or the money that Fortnite was pulling in, so they just pulled the plug on it, which is a bummer because it was a fun game. But I never really got deep into like the mechanics of like the roles that you would want to play in a MOBA, like jungling and defense and attacking and
I don't know what
that
the fuck
kind of stuff.
jungling is.
Exactly, which is a very important role in these types of games. So once you learn those roles, it really totally changes how you play the game, and it makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun.
And then you're jungling for you.
And then you're jungling. So, anyway, that is what I played this week. Also messed around with the Digimon a lot. I mentioned that earlier, but goddamn, they're like
champions.
I'm addicted. Especially these new ones are really good. Like there's a lot to do, and you can raise 3 at a time on it.
That's what I've always wanted with kids.
Get wrecked, Paul. Gosh, that was wonderful.
Yeah, but I can leave these in the car with the windows up and not worry about
it. That's true. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah. So yeah.
Josh, you've got a review for us, don't you?
What, me? What, did Zach say his games?
I did.
Yeah, Zach did say his games.
I was making Jade a delicacy. She liked it. No poopy smells, so I think we're okay. We'll see. So sweet. It's my turn then.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to switch over to your screen.
Wow, do we not have tamale? It looks like we don't.
We don't have tamale night, no, huh?
Based on
we're flying without a safety net today, folks.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh no, I gotta fix this.
Why Josh and I have been able to go on long tangents.
I'm gonna. I gotta fix this real quick. Bear with me.
For some reason, I forgot.
Yeah. So talk amongst yourselves. I gotta fix your review screen.
Oh yeah, we have footage. Hey guys, I played this game. It is a cool one, and I'm revving up to it. This is a game I grew up on. Also,
don't start the review yet. Yeah.
Well, we can tease it.
We can't even tease it.
Tease it all you want.
It's
but
like
I gotta fix your review screen.
Franchises ever that like can't be continued apparently because Rare was apparently its lifeblood, and apparently Nintendo can't do it on its own. I don't understand why they can't make it good anymore. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
I think I'm burning that bagel. Oops, hold up. Keep talking.
All right.
This is the most disorganized episode of this.
This is what happens anytime we, don't have Chamali to guide us. Yeah, that's the problem. Here we go. Okay, this is looking better. Almost done fixing the screen, but there's still a big problem with it, so bear with me.
Peeling back layers and layers and layers of, production value. That's the word. This is what we look like when we're not being directed.
It is. I don't know why this is such a mess. Probably because Josh hasn't done a review in so long. Oh, geez Louise.
Also, hello, Josh's mom.
Oh, hey, Josh's mom.
All right.
We're almost done, so probably, yeah. Almost.
What did we say? What words did I miss?
We're almost ready, Josh. Give me 2 more seconds. Yeah, that's nice. I gotta fix Zach real quick, and then we'll be good to go.
I know.
I'm broke too.
Yeah. Everything's
Josh,
busted.
Your mom's telling you not to burn the bagel.
Don't burn the bagel, Josh. Dude, I love bagels, and I'm on keto, and that makes me sad.
Dude,
I can't eat bagels right now. I freaking love them though. All right, we are good to
peanut
go.
Butter and jelly, by the way, this bagel.
Dude, best ever. Peanut butter and jelly and raisin bagel, no joke.
It's pretty amazing.
All right, so I'm gonna try this again, and
hello,
boom. All right, go ahead and
playing
lead
this
us in.
Game and welcome. We're doing some retro reviews for you. So if you never played this game, where the fuck have you been? No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, one of the most acclaimed, most like sought and remembered, I guess is the word. I don't even know. Like in this genre of like space shooters, like it's everyone talks about it. Everyone who was around our age when this game came out has definitely played this. So it's really awesome to be reviewing this game. It's an honor, I would say. I will say again, I was saying before, this game is, in my opinion, the best in its franchise as well. And for some reason, afterwards, they haven't been able to replicate, although there have been good games since, there have not been games that really struck the same chord as far as how it feels. And so we are talking about StarFox 64 today, as you can see. Woo, everybody. This is for the Nintendo 64, produced by Rare and I guess developed by Nintendo. Which way is it?
Now, StarFox 64, if I'm not mistaken, is that the one that was bundled with the Rumble Pack?
It was. So
It was.
in 1997,
This
if you
is the one that
pre-ordered it, I
introduced.
didn't even think I pre-ordered it. I think I just went into the mall and got it, and it like
Yeah,
came with a
that's
big
definitely
box. I
how
was
we
like,
got
"What? This is amazing."
And this is when Nintendo used to package things with games at no extra cost.
Nintendo
Like,
was a boss at this.
yeah.
So there's this. You got a Rumble Pack. There was like a memory card or something like that at some point. Like when
I
Animal
think
Crossing
memory
came
pack,
out, you got a whole memory
the
card.
expansion pack came with something. See, this is why we need
The
Jamal.
expansion
Donkey
came. No,
Kong
the expansion
64?
came
Donkey Kong.
with Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Kong.
Yep.
Yes.
But then, dude, it really got going when the GameCube came out and we were pre-ordering Zelda games and getting entire collection bundles like the fucking GameCube one, where you pre-ordered Wind Waker, you got Master Quest, which came with like this. It came with Ocarina of Time and Master
Yes,
Quest.
I still have that.
Amazing. I still have that.
That's right.
And then when you pre-ordered, there was another one. It might have just been a Nintendo Rewards. Actually, I think it was, where like you could just bank, like you used to be able to like there was a code that came in your booklet and you'd be able to type it in and get points for buying a game, and they still do this kind of, but it's not as rewarding as it used to be. And I literally got this game for free. It was like 4 Zelda games in one. It was Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, and then there was like a Wind Waker demo on it, and then a bunch of like videos and shit. I loved that shit. That stuff was awesome. I also used to get like soundtracks, dude. For pre-ordering Skyward Sword, you got for $70. I mentioned this last week. You got the fucking Wii Plus Gold Skyward Sword Wiimote, the game, and the fucking Ballad of the Goddess soundtrack. I was like, oh my god. So StarFox definitely, so much gas. Nintendo is still doing it, and they get free DLC and all that. So like we can't even like really hate on them in any way.
No,
so,
we absolutely can't. And
this game
like,
is one of those.
They definitely aren't making profit off those things either. They're just
they're losing.
freebies.
Yeah. And if the game is bad, it's one thing to give something away for free. Like, okay, maybe they're trying to make, but like the games are good and they're giving you stuff too. So like a game like StarFox, I think it might have been more expensive. I think it was $60 instead of 50. Games were, I think, 50, like at games or EB Games at the time.
Or whatever. It was EB Games.
It was EB Games. I don't remember how old was I.
Find, Paul?
It was 8. But
there it is. Is that Master Quest?
That's Master Quest, yeah.
This is Adam's copy.
The collector's bundle, do you have that though? Collector's edition? That's a sexy one. That's worth money now.
Yeah, we did. I mean, this came with it, but I don't know if the other disc is here.
Anywho, continue, Josh.
Continuing, yes. So it came out for the N64 in 1997, if I'm not to be mistaken. I got this shit the month it came out. This game is fucking crazy. So let's see. What do we say? It's one of the gems in that multiverse of Rare and Nintendo link-ups that was just so fucking good. That started like with Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, and they did a bunch of stuff all the way up into the GameCube. And there's like, to me, like a huge memory pocket of games that are just done so fucking well with their unison. Like that team of Rare and Nintendo is just so fucking good. It really sucks that that's not a thing anymore, but we still have these games, I will say. I don't know the exact release date on this game, but if anyone wants to find out, but it's definitely 1997. It's N64. What did I like about the game? Okay.
I can't do that. I can't look it up. Someone else has to.
Can't look it up. You're going to kill the thing. What did I like about the game? It's got so much to like. I mean, the controls are, in my opinion, the best for this type of third and or first person aerial track shooter. I guess it's like a track shooter and you're a ship, but you can also do it in first person mode, which is really neat.
There's also some levels that have all range mode, so it's not all
range mode. Yeah, all range mode is really dope, and there's a lot of bosses and stuff like that. So we have different ways to play. Like there's a straightforward track, then it opens up and you can like do different things. There's like obstacle courses. There's all sorts of like secrets to be found and like enemies to be killed in certain ways, and like different characters to follow on different paths and different levels. And there are a lot of combinations of different paths you can do. On top of that, there's already a good amount of levels, in my opinion, for a game at this cost. Like some people say it's short, but the replay value is so high on this game.
I think it's the perfect length, honestly.
I think it's the
for
perfect
this style
length.
Of game.
Yeah. It's not like you're dragging through any portion. You can literally just not play a level you don't like. And I'm never on a run where I dislike any level. There'll be a level where I'm like, oh, but like I just won't go that way potentially if there's like something I'm not okay with playing. And normally even the levels are still pretty fun. So like no level is really. Oh, you got my details? So when was it? In Japan, April 27, 1987, and then here we got June 30th, and then October 4th in PAL, Schmal. What's PAL again?
That's Europe.
Mostly Europe, yeah.
Poop Atlantic. And then yes, developed by Nintendo EAD, and
Just
then
naming oceans.
Yeah, I don't even know. And then I remember when I was 8. Yeah, good times, right? So this game, what else did I like about it? As far as I'm concerned, these controls are incredibly perfect. It makes you feel like you can really aim well because in this genre, especially of games, like, sure, it would be okay to have like kind of aided shooting in this day and age, and you're like, okay, that kind of, it makes sense, right? And it doesn't feel as special. But in this game on a track shooter, like it really allows you to aim really well and precisely, and you have multiple types of ways to shoot and approach enemies and whatnot. And although it is kind of simple in nature, like you get the three different lasers, the bombs, and then like a bunch of utility with your actual like aircraft. The R-wing is actually super acrobatic, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You can control your speed.
It paved the way for like
yeah.
The X-wing games, I would say, or the Rogue Squadron games.
This blows those away, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Although those games are amazing, but
the first one is awful.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron 2. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, Rogue Squadron 2 is the one I'm thinking
But
of.
even still, like, this game, there needs to be a remake where, like, they don't adjust the controls at all, but they adjust everything else about it.
Yeah, don't change a thing.
Yeah, don't change a thing, maybe even. Don't even change the graphics. Fucking just give it to us on the Switch.
Yep.
I don't even care.
Straight up re-release. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll take that. But, either way, like, this game, so what else? Like, the bosses are really amazing. There's a boss at the end of every level, so you're always fighting something different. There are tons of secrets, like I said. The voice acting is amazing. So, like, here, let's get to each thing. Real quick, what didn't I like about the game? Because it's in this order, I just want to say it. So those are like the main hitting points. The story is amazing. The voice acting is like iconic, in my opinion. And the graphics still hold up to this day because it's not reaching too far. And the character design, at least like when they're speaking, is like pretty straightforward renders. Yeah, it's exactly like that. But the voice acting holds up and it still feels like gritty. Like they kind of did it gritty initially. So it works with the old like speaker system, like in today's age. Like when you hear the N64, you're like, actually sounds like really good. Like Mario sounds kind of, Ocarina of Time sounds really good still, I think, and Majora's. But like, I think StarFox sounds phenomenal.
I mean, it sounds like it's coming over like a radio that you would have in like a
exactly, and even if it was intentional, if it was intentional or not, it like still works perfectly for that. So the only things I didn't really like about the game are like the multiplayer could have been better, and I think that is something that could easily be implemented. Our mod peeps, I don't know if they're working on it. I'm going to talk to them, of course, about this.
I hope so.
You mean as far as like co-op? Because I think as far as PvP, it was excellent for the time.
It was great. It was great, but I'm saying like as far as couch co-op, we couldn't be like, let's go like play around. I will say the PvP was great. It could be a little expanded, but not even. It was a really fun mode. You could like get on your, you could run around and shit. That was fun.
Yeah.
But then it would be cool to be able to be in the same level. And this is like exactly what my mod community does, to be in the same level as your buddy and be playing that level, and you don't affect each other, but you're able to like, the enemies are still destroyed together and like whatnot. And you're still able to experience the level together and do it in unison. I don't see why that's not possible. And you each are on your own screen. Like making it in an online mod for this seems more feasible than making a regular co-op mod for this. But if Nintendo re-released it, I think there could be an online mode. I don't know about a co-op couch version but then it's like, do they do it at all? If they can't do couch co-op, do they even bother doing online only? Because then it's kind of like annoying to some people, I guess. But that would be the only way not to have to do it. Here we go. Because the split screen would be a thing, and I don't know if they want to do that. Is what I'm kind of trying to get at.
So one thing that maybe it's been done and maybe it hasn't, I don't know, but I would love to be able to grab my Switch, go over to my sister's house and sit on the couch with my niece, with her playing StarFox on her Switch and me playing on mine. It's still couch co-op.
That's true. So okay,
and then all this, and here's the kicker. She's playing on the big screen, right? When it goes to a cutscene, mine just goes, turn your eyes to the big screen. And you see the cutscenes together.
And we see the cutscenes together, dude. So I like that a lot. I think it's a home run idea to make this game co-op. I don't think it should be implemented with split screen. Just like it feels like it doesn't work as well for some reason. Yeah. I think the idea is to say, we are giving you this mode. with the exception that you can only have your screen. I mean, it might even work. The only issue is there's like a square is the screen, but it also has movable parameters. So like you can like push it, like kind of how with Smash Bros. So it'd be weird if you're pulling in two different directions and you're sharing a screen. I could see it being done like with Super Mario 3D World, but it also would be sloppy. I don't like a bubble system, but maybe a bubble system could work for StarFox. There's all sorts of ways to implement it. It'd be a little
because
clunky.
like you're in the middle of a maneuver and it just jumps you. That'd be a little
I would
weird.
hate that.
So let me pause you guys. While like speculating about awesome multiplayer or co-op is rad, we're reviewing the game that existed as it was in 1997.
True.
So
I was about to bring us back to that.
Yeah.
Because
Zach, where were you
also
on
remember
I can't
playing
do
it on a much smaller screen than we have access to today.
Kind of, yes and no. Here's what I'll say about that is like like we have widescreen, right?
Yes.
Like now, back in the day, we were on CRT TVs that were square, right? And the thing is like if you took my TV, which was like a 32-inch, and stuck it up next to my like 50-inch widescreen TV, like it takes up most of the thing because you're measuring it differently, right? So like like yes, we kind of have bigger screens than we did then, but we were also it wasn't as stretched of an image. So like, anyway, go on.
To me, resolution is the thing, though. So like those games, although they looked great then, I feel like they look even better now being played with higher resolution, especially if you own the game and you emulate it as well. You can increase your resolution, and that's how I'm playing it in the mod loader. And I do own this game, so fuck yourselves. And no, just kidding, I don't care. But just to clear that up. But it's the res is amazing. It's like the most beautiful I've ever seen in the game. So how was the art? So first of all, the gameplay is so fucking fun. Like this game is just like absolutely a thrill ride. Super amazingly exciting, all the way down to the last of it. And like you really feel connected to the story, and like you feel like your actions have saved the galaxy in a way. Like it's fucking awesome. How was the art? Art is great. I think it's perfect. I think a remaster or a remake would be amazing for this game, and you could bring it into exactly what it needs to look like. But I feel like it holds up 9 out of 10 basically on that level, like as far as like how it looks today. It honestly even just looks perfect, except when they're like running through the Great Fox and it's like Fox and Falcon. And so I'm just like, okay, they're kind of goofy polygons, but the game itself holds up really, really well. The music is amazing. Like, holy shit, Koji Kondo has never made a bad song in his life. And this is the height of it. When he was doing Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, StarFox 64, he is killing it. Koji Kondo is one of the greatest composers ever, ever, ever. And Nintendo has him under his thumb. So I mean, I don't know how much he's doing now. I know he does a lot of collabs on the newer Mario games, but I don't know if he is like solely doing a lot of the head. I'm sure he still has like
his most recent is Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Was he an Ultimate? Even Ultimate was like three years ago, but like
true.
He's usually
he did Mario Maker 2. He did Super Mario Odyssey.
So he's still good with it.
He's still doing stuff. Yeah,
he's still doing stuff, and I'm glad because honestly, he's iconic. He's iconic. Him and Shigeru Miyamoto like really share this like balance of them always working together. And I think in Star Fox especially, like even Colin was listening to it and he was the ending he hadn't seen before, and he was like, oh, it feels like Ocarina of Time, like holy shit, it's like Zelda, like the music is just so na 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 na, like that amazing ending. I love that.
The music in this game's incredible.
Incredibly good. Incredible. Yeah, it can do no wrong. Koji Kondo is amazing. How is the sound design? Perfect. You know exactly where you're shooting, when you're shooting. There's like even like kind of like sounds like, I don't know like how to explain it, but it's not like ASMR, but you can kind of tell where you're like going sound wise. Everything makes a sound it should, including like a laser hitting some metal, like and
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
When you hit something you're supposed to hurt, it like you can feel that you're damaging. It's like or like
even if you don't have the rumble pack, like we should be clear about that.
The rumble pack works really well. I am playing with Xbox One controller, so it works perfectly. But you know, without it, I will say it's definitely not as good. But the game does not need it because you still are getting a lot of good sound effects. So with a headset, even or not, like just loud is fine. I don't even think it really matters. Like this game, it comes across really well as far as the sounds. And let's not even go to mention the voice acting. You know, that's not even to mention. I mean, is like just perfect. You know, the voice acting is amazing. It just really sucks you in. You feel like these characters are real, like you're in this world, and just everything sounds perfect, in my opinion. And then we have, let's see, what's next? How long does it take you? That's the beauty of this game. If you're incredible and you're a god, I think the fastest run, I don't know, actually. I don't want to like quote what the speedrunners are doing on this, if anyone wants to check. I'm going to say a good casual fast run is probably like 35, 40, and average run is between 40 and 50. Like usually I beat it in 45 minutes, one run. If I'm doing like, I don't know. I know there's like ways to cut out like levels and shit, but I'm curious what the speed run is on that.
12 minutes, 51 seconds.
Wow. And that's probably Glitch City.
That's insane.
So, yeah, that's insane. What about no glitches? Is that a thing?
Is that Warpless? 22 minutes, 46.
22 sounds pretty awesome. Yeah. So that sounds, yeah, you can be perfect. And I'm sure the high score is just madness at that point. And that's the other thing. You can keep beating your scores and you can medal planets. Each planet has like a medal requirement. So you can see how awesome you can do. You know, I like to do that. So you can play this game over and over again. Whenever I stream it, I like to do both sides of Venom. That's kind of my thing. And when I do the hard side, the Star Wolf side, I like to try and go for a high score, which I apparently am way worse at than I used to be. So we'll work on that. Would I play a sequel? So that's so funny. So I've played a lot, if not all of the sequels to these, and none of them have impressed like this game has. It really is a testament to like ideas of the time. Like just like I said, we have Shigeru Miyamoto, Koji Kondo, everyone else who fucking worked on this game.
The dream team.
The dream team, dude. We have everyone who's good, like working on perfectly new technology. We're 1 year off of the N64. This is new tech. They're really pushing the boundaries with a lot of cool stuff, and it shows. It's like really fucking awesome. And for some reason, it doesn't hold up in the future ones, which I love a lot of them. I'm not even gonna lie. I know Adam likes Assault, and I like Assault, but it did not. To me, it's like a 7 or like even less because, like, and that's fine. It's a good game, but there's so many clunky parts, and there are there's no fat in all of this game. There's no fat in Star Fox 64, 0. Except for a few levels that some people don't like, pretty much.
It's worth noting that Star Fox 64 is largely taken from Super Star Fox. Star Fox for SNES.
I agree. Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
It's cleaned
which
up
is
so much.
A very good game, but this just turns the dial up to 11 and perfects every moment of it.
We get everything we needed that the originals didn't
I think
have.
the problem with Star Fox 1 and 2 is the controls. Like the concept is fantastic and they look incredible for a Super Nintendo game, but the controls are ass. Like they are so difficult.
They are bad. I have Star Fox right here and it is bad.
The D-pad is you're handcuffing yourself.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't efficiently go diagonally.
Yeah, and so N64 really opened up a lot. Just that comfort of that controller and the joystick alone, like, and the C buttons allowed for so much to where now a dual stick is perfect for this game. And I think that it would be really amazing to get some revamped controls, not how it feels, but like how the buttons work in like on a new controller on the Switch or whatever. This is a prime remake target, and
it really is.
Yeah, I only think it's not happening because of Rare.
Well, yeah. And like we said, like
Nintendo owns Star Fox.
We don't want necessarily a graphical revamp. Spend your time making it, doing things like modifying the controls, or making multiplayer. Like,
I think that would be incredible. I do want to see a graphical revamp in the way that the world feels like deeper and more immersive, and like levels like Sector X is one of my favorite levels. Like, and it's like a trash heap. It's like a junkyard in space and shit. And I can just visualize how good this fucking level would look in like 4K in HD, like fully smoothed out and like redesigned on the bad guys and stuff. Like it would just be so fucking cool, and it's so doable. This is prime in my opinion for a remake. So would I play a sequel if it was a remake of the exact same game? Yes. I'm not too keen on remakes of the game of sequels to Star Fox now. I'm very cautious. I'll play them, but I'm like, honestly, I like Star Fox Adventures a lot. But that was the only one that I can say I really like aside from this, and it is very clunky along the way. Star Fox Assault, very, very clunky, and all the future ones not even really worth mentioning.
Dude, the best sequel to this is that whatchamacallit game that you and I played on the Switch.
Oh yeah, and so Star Fox. Not even StarFox.
It's not even StarFox, but StarFox is in it.
What is it called? Star
It's
Salt.
called like
Star
Battle
Salt
for
City.
Atlas or something
Battle
like
for
that.
Atlas.
Yeah.
Starlink.
Starlink. Battle for
So
Atlas.
Starlink was on all of the consoles, whatever, and you got an exclusive Star Fox version, not in the title, but it just was that version when you got the Switch version, and so we
and
got
it has
it. It's
Star
pretty
Fox
good.
campaign in it too.
It's good. It just
nice.
does not feel exactly like it doesn't feel exactly like Star Fox for me, but it is
Right, of
cool.
course not.
It's
I'm
like
just
Star Fox
saying
meets Last
that's
Man
like
or
the best sequel
something
we've
similar.
gotten.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not
It's like
even
a
a Star
7.
Fox sequel.
It's like an 8, 7, maybe.
Yeah. I will
I
say
don't know.
there's a game coming out called, where is it?
Primary.
I posted this in the Discord as well the other day. Actually, Adam posted this in the Discord. No, I posted it. Or maybe I reposted it. It's X Zodiac. And I think I sent this to you. But it looks very cool. It's actually in the style of, like, the graphical style of the Super Nintendo Star Fox games. I'll put the trailer in the chat, but if anyone wants to check it out. But it looks like it has the controls of Star Fox 64, which is what I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, see, that's important. So like that whole like track theme, I don't know how to explain it, but they like nailed it and they kept trying to expound on it and do more, and it like didn't work. I just want basic. Like even doing just the Aquamarine and the Landmaster was like enough for me. I was like, wow, that's amazing. They could have done a on foot mission as a track mission or like a Time Crisis style like mission, and I would have found that more appealing than being open world.
Cool.
A Time Crisis version of Star I would cry. Oh my god, dude. That would be incredible. Like that's the kind of game it is, in my opinion. And denying Star Fox that it is a rail shooter, that's the word, rail shooter, not track shooter.
Yep.
So denying it that it is a rail shooter is like kind of denying like its core gameplay, in my opinion. Like making it open world, making all these things is kind of like changing what it is best at.
Yeah,
I think so. I think that's the route Nintendo needs to go. They're really good at bringing things back to the OG in the Switch era. So let's find out if they do it with that. The game difficult. Depends on the route. Honestly, there are really difficult parts of this game. I would say it would probably take you a few tries on your first time ever playing this game, and especially if you're young, like probably a long time to get to beat Andros, especially on the hard side. Like that's kind of like the expert route. I feel like Area 6 or whatever it's called, yeah, is like super fucking hard, and then fighting Starwolf at the end, and then Andros is hard as fuck. And Adam's tip actually to like break and turn like saved my fucking life in that fight. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I never played it like this before. Anyway, he's a god. I can't wait to watch that. Yeah, it could be hard, and it could also just be a breeze depending on like if you catch your stride. Like this is a flow state game for sure. It's super fun in that way. Overall rating and impression, honestly, dude, I'm not trying to be that with every Nintendo game, but like I'm gonna be perfectly fair though, actually, too, because there are some hiccups in this game. So one of the biggest hiccups for me is Sector Z. Okay, so those of you who know this level, it's basically an all-range mode level where a bunch of fucking ships are flying around. The metal on it is 100, and you don't nearly get that many points without like.
Is that the that's the one with that's got like the Independence Day ship, right?
No, that's Katina.
That's right.
That one
Katina.
I like.
That's
like
my favorite level.
Yeah, I love that level.
Yeah.
But this one, no, there's like a missile attack on the Great Fox, and you just like sit there and you have to blow up all the missiles. And it's really hard to get a high score on, and you really don't have a lot of time to shoot down these missiles, and it's kind of fucking annoying, honestly. And that is the only level. Like, there's like the Hoth level I love. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many fucking cool levels. There's the meteor shower level. They literally took like almost every pop culture thing from like those things at the era and previously, like, and kind of took tidbits and like crammed them together. Like it does feel like very Star Warsy, Star Fox. You get it? You know, You know, and he's kind of like a Han Solo a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, you know, he's kind of like a smart ass, but he's like suave also. And the whole team is kind of like, you know, put together like that. But at the same time, it's got like its own twist. And you know, I don't know.
They're furries.
Yeah, they're furries.
It's furry Star Wars.
Yeah, Nintendo nailed it. Like if they didn't do it, like Disney would have done this, honestly. So
but Chewbacca's just a regular person.
Yeah, I mean Rocky Raccoon or whatever. Rocket Raccoon is like pretty much Star Fox. Like fuck. So let's see. Overall impression. Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm sure Rocket Raccoon predates Star Fox.
Oh no, 100% does. Yeah, no, he does. Star Fox is 90. something. Yeah. But overall
1976.
impression.
So yeah.
I will say for the time. So if I am reviewing this game in 1997, I would give this a fucking 10. Honestly, I give this a perfect 10. This is a perfect game, and it came with a free Rumble Pack, motherfuckers, or whatever, a little bit more money. But really amazing, so much replay value. This game is absolutely worth playing. Did I mention that this game is, well, I mean, you can get it for really cheap on a cartridge still for like, I think like around $20.
Yeah, it's not expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the most widely distributed games, so like it's not difficult to find.
Yeah, I would say, and if you want to be ballsy, I don't condone it, but you could get a ROM of this game very easily and be a bastard, illegal person. I never would do such a thing without owning the game first. And then in this day and age, if I fast forward to 2021, it's a perfect 10 in 97. 2021, there are a few levels that feel a little like not as thought out and a little dated, like Titania and Sector Z come to mind, and Solar to an extent. Just like the way the mechanics work on some of these levels the levels are great. And if there was the only levels I had to play, I'd still love this game, but they're just a little weaker than the rest of the game. And overall, everything else is so perfect. So in this day, I would literally give it probably a 9.9. Like this game is so fucking good. And if you haven't played it, you're missing out hardcore. Best of its genre, best rail shooter period, and best like space infused replay value engined, awesome high score involved game with great dialogue that changes all the time, and it's like so fucking fun every single time you play it.
It is very good.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely
the
recommend
of its type. It's the original.
It's the definitive of its
perfect.
Type.
Nothing's gonna touch it.
Yeah, a remake
also,
is
they
the
just
only
don't make
thing
games like this anymore.
Yeah, they don't make games like this anymore for real. So what I learned in reviewing a retro game this week is that these games are full of ideas that we just don't get anymore, and like they're overthinking a lot. Like we get ideas, but it's all like just like what can we think of? It's not just like, hey, we had a really good idea, like let's do that. It's more like thinking of what to think of, and like when you dig, you do find answers, but they're not always as good as genuine inspiration. And I think like this one, like when they finally got the 3D capabilities on the N64, we're seeing the most iconic games. Honestly, the N64 and to an extent the GameCube and to an extent the Super Nintendo are really the best consoles ever, in my opinion. I think those are the strongest consoles.
PlayStation 2 says, hold my memory card.
Yeah, exactly, which you require to play any game. No, I don't know, dude. But you got to see the lineup on the N64 at the least, we're talking about, and just say, like, all these ideas are so groundbreaking. We were the first people to whatever, or maybe PlayStation, I don't know. Who did the first 3D game? Was it Nintendo? Was it Super Mario 64? I think it might have been.
No.
I'm not liking that one up. We got to move forward.
That's, I mean, there was 3D games before any of those, but yes, there certainly was.
3D open world games?
I mean, not necessarily like this, but okay. So for instance, I don't know. We would have to do some like on the spot research, but I know that the Sega Saturn predates the Nintendo 64, and you had a game called Panzer Dragoon, which is very much in the StarFox style, and it's fucking incredible. I would say the only reason it's not as popular as StarFox is because it doesn't have as like charismatic characters. It's not as fun in its presentation, as StarFox is, but like as far as like how it's executed as a rail shooter, like you could make the argument that it's as good if not better, but like I don't know what date that came out. You should try. Actually, they did do a remake of Panzer Dragoon on the Switch, so you can actually try that and check it out. Like Nintendo. Needless to say, Nintendo 64 was definitely not the first 3D games. Some of the first 3D console games, but not even that. I mean, even Super Nintendo had 3D with StarFox, the first StarFox.
Oh yeah,
technically they were using polygons in that.
I'm talking about how Mario 64, you're roaming in a 3D open world. Like, who was the first game to do where your character is like in a world where you can move around in a 3-dimensional way? Star Fox 2, you do have that, but it's also still, even when you're in all range mode, I feel like you are still kind of on rails, like based on like your view. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying Mario was the first, but
no, anyway. It's not. But we would have to do some research on that, which we don't really have time for. But
My Google
Correct.
search wasn't definitive.
let's wrap this review up though. So your final score was a 10 for 1997, and for now
A 9.9.
9.9.
It
That's
holds up
awesome.
so damn
And I
good.
actually don't
Yeah, it does.
disagree with that. Normally
No, I don't
I'd push back on that and be like, yo, you know, there's flaws with this game. You got to get, you know, that's an incredibly high score. So
That's
like
the other
there's
thing.
I'm
I
sure,
would never,
you know,
I never once am like
But-
throwing the controller because of how the game plays or
Right.
anything
No,
about. That's why it's like
right.
such a good experience. And
Yeah,
you're just like
you're right.
never like pissed at the game. You're more like, oh, I missed that, or like something like that. But like, it just plays so well that you can never be mad at this game. Yeah,
It really does. It's true.
so good. Where are we now?
Yes, indeed.
Molly,
Let
save
me
us.
switch back to the main. There we go. So we do have a topic. Zach, do you want to lead us into our topic?
I can. So our
Thanks.
topic tonight is on level design, and specifically like how do games indicate to us that this is how you move forward? And
Yes.
I would even expand that to how do games tell us there are multiple paths? This is how you lead the game forward, and this is maybe an optional quest over here
So
or an
for-
optional thing.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like a thing that some games do where they like lead you and you can kind of feel which direction is almost. And like games have a way of doing that to like lure you. And they're like, oh, hey, like these are two ways. This one obviously is the right way. And this way there's probably treasure. So you can optionally go that way. I like when games are decisive and they do that. They make
Definitely.
it like easy so you can skip it if you want.
Right.
Oh.
Now, those who know me, you guys especially, know that the two games that I know the best, two franchises
Wonder what he's
that I know
say.
the best are Mega Man Zero and Gears of War.
I knew it.
You knew I was going to go there because that is my frame of reference mostly. Now Gears, it's blatantly obvious how to go forward. There's a literal
Very
path
linear.
in most cases. That changed in Gears 5. While most of the levels still had that linear path, you had a semi-open world where you were flying around on this little like land skiff thing, and you could choose your objective. Now, and Blink brings up that I know the Batman Arkham games very well. That is also true. I do know those very well. But they function on very similar environmental cues to Gears. You see a hallway and you're like, I need to go down this hallway. You also have access to a map and specific objectives markers, which we see some in Skyward Sword. Especially
True.
when you're in the sky, you can put a flag somewhere, or actually you can do it on any map.
It's very
I
nice.
love that they implemented that
I think that's great.
it
That was in
not
the
only
original, actually, too.
Yes, I know. It allows the player a little bit of freedom in sort of a choose your own adventure kind of way. But at the same time, I would say that most people are flagging the same things, roughly, like within a couple of pixels here or there.
Yeah. How do we feel about moving story with like specific character cues? So like it's one thing to like in Gears and like level-based games, you get to the end or you progress and you like feel the progression coming. But then Zelda is actually a really good example of this type that I'm talking about, where like you walk out into Hyrule Field and you have no fucking idea what to do. You literally have to talk to people. You have to be cued correctly. You have to have the correct item. Like you have to give the mask to the guy to open the gate to get to the Goron village, like all that stuff. So like to me, that is a really different style of gaming. And I feel like that's more like along the puzzle line where it's like you're this lost character, and level design in that way can be like more immersive, where like literally each story beat is like such a specific fucking thing. And like you have to like literally trigger them like in a chain to get through the story. And I think that can be really awesome in a lot of ways. And I feel like some games don't take advantage of that, and some games take too much advantage of that and make it obnoxious and inundate you with that kind of shit. Ocarina of Time is a really good one because it is like more difficult if you haven't played it before, but then like it's nice to get those beats when you have played it and you learn it. It's kind of nice.
Zelda does a really like where the level design shines in Zelda is in the dungeons, which I would consider the actual levels, right? I wouldn't ever consider the overworld necessarily a level. It's kind of like your RPG world that you're in, and which is why you would want to get cues from like the characters and so on. But when you step into a dungeon, You are, dictated where to go by a few things. Number one, like what abilities you have at that time,
Yes.
or equipment, right? So there will be things that will lock you out because say you don't have the hook shot or you don't have this or that, right? You also have like literally locked doors. You have to find a key for that. So like typically when you enter a Zelda dungeon, you have one direction that you can go and you figure that out fairly quickly. And then once you get into that next area, then that might branch into 2 paths or 3, and it all is dictated by like, what equipment you have and what the level presents as like, do I have enough keys to continue? Like if I don't, then there must be a key back there somewhere or, on that path that I didn't take that is going to lead me to, the one that I need to be able to open this next door and progress through the dungeon, So I think Nintendo has done a really good job over the years of doing that. I mean, Mario, the original one, is a masterclass in level design.
Dude, they absolutely never run out of ideas. Mario in general, like I think are the best.
It teaches you how to play. Levels. Mario 1 teaches you how to play Mario within like the first
same
like level.
And it's the same through every Mario game to the point where they were able to effectively release not 1, but 2 make your own Mario games.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy that they give us that power. And like, it doesn't even ruin when they drop a game. Like, I'm always like, oh, the best levels have been made. And then they drop a new Mario game. And I'm like, damn.
I'm talking specifically about like the cues that they give you though in those first couple levels that basically like teach you the movement of Mario and what's possible. Like really the way it's designed is to like teach you how to play the game exactly how it's intended without even speaking to you, without putting text on the screen, without it's no tutorials. It's just the way it's laid out and like the objects that they put on screen and the placement of the enemies and stuff literally teaches you how to play that game. And I think that is just brilliance.
It's absolutely insane. And what Josh was saying about, excuse me, Ocarina, that really paved the way for a lot of modern games.
Oh, yeah.
While you were describing that, Paul, I'm going to give you 3 guesses what game I was thinking of that does exactly the same thing on a more modern framework.
Not Breath of the Wild.
You're giving me?
It's not Breath.
3 guesses?
I'm specifically giving you. And
it's certainly not Breath. I actually was gonna dunk on Breath for not doing that just a little bit ago, but we're not gonna do that.
No, we're not. We can dunk on it later. I'm specifically turning to Paul. I'm giving him 3 guesses, and I don't think he's gonna need all 3.
I feel like I'm not teed up well for this. So you're saying that Ocarina of Time specifically set the stage for a game.
It set the stage for a lot of games.
A lot of games.
And I want you to guess which one my brain went to.
I don't know.
Destiny.
Please explain that to me. I'm actually really curious now. Let's hear this.
There are several overworlds in Destiny. Right? If you have specific equipment, you talk to a specific person, they give you a quest, you go into the dungeon.
Okay, sure.
Then you do that dungeon based on what equipment you have or what the story is trying to accomplish.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
It is exactly the same kind of guidance system. And if I were doing a lot of those dungeons myself, I would be just as hopelessly lost as I am in most Zelda games. There's a reason that I play through Zelda games with a walkthrough. Not always. I don't always, but if a walkthrough exists, you can pretty much bet that I'm going to use it. Mostly because I those are the kinds of games that I would like to come as close to 100% as I feel comfortable.
I still use it occasionally when I replay like Twilight Princess. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll do it on stream, like to make sure that like I have a good flow. Like I'm not like spinning my wheels. But off stream, I like to just get in and enjoy the world. Getting lost is part of the fun, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
especially in Zelda. There's always something to be lost into. There's never just like nothing there.
Well, that speaks to. We should make this another topic. Is just design aesthetic. But
oh my god,
that level
Zelda
design it allows for a little bit of exploration.
Blink actually brought up a great example in chat, and that's Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes.
That's a really good example of the same kind of like level design philosophy.
Is that the game he's talking about?
Yeah.
Level?
Oh, definitely.
Where you gotta you're limited by the equipment or like, you know, whatever it is that you have at that time that's gonna unlock that next area. And again, like I know I said I wasn't gonna dunk on Breath of the Wild, but I think that's the biggest thing that's missing from Breath of the Wild is that like there's no like what the Zelda games have done over the course of time is had brilliant level design. And that teaches you like as you go or like gives you those like subtle hints, you know, if you're paying attention. And there's none of that.
It trained us for 5 minutes and then it just said, here's a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's like kind of a cop-out because when you add dungeons, you add a lot of depth to the world. Like, dude, Link to the Past technically has 11 dungeons because you got 11 heart containers in it. So every time you get a heart container, I consider it a dungeon. So definitely. 11. So that's awesome. There are so many underground aspects of this game. If you play this on the Super Nintendo when it first came out, this game is the biggest thing you've ever played. Like, holy shit.
Oh, without a question. And the first Zelda, I recently played the first Zelda. It's huge.
That's a miracle. That game is a fucking legend, I think, because
they originally planned on it being a twice that size, by the way.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is a second map.
Possible?
There's a randomized map. When you beat it and you name yourself Zelda on the same file, you can like replay it and rename yourself. And you name yourself Zelda, and it's like a new map. And it's like, so they did make 2 maps in the same one.
Well, there was originally, and this is getting into the weeds. We always do this with Zelda. But there was originally like a time travel mechanic with like these weird microchip things that took you into like a modern world and all that stuff. Weird.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't do that. But
me too. Me too.
Yeah, but I will say, like, that game is another one that if we're talking about like how it teaches you as you play, like, holy shit, you are galvanized by that game. Like, you are brutalized into learning how to play that game. Like, holy shit. I was screaming as I was beating Ganon. Like, that was like one of the most satisfying things to beat, but also like was like, I'm never gonna beat that again. I was like, that's it. I'm not gonna be good at that game. That is a very that is you need a guide.
What are some other?
No, definitely. I would have been screwed without the guide.
Do you guys have any other like examples of level design that you want to talk about, whether it be good or bad? That like.
So for me, good bad contrast. The obvious one for me is Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. Easy.
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie is some great level design. It gives you this feel where you walk into this level and it presents an idea to you. I'm in the swamp now. Okay. Now I go to the middle of the level and it kind of presents these branching areas, right? So you go to this area and it kind of teaches you a little bit about the area, and then you go to this one, you can learn some more moves and stuff, and you kind of flesh it out as you go. And then there's like a center part or like maybe a few more branching areas, but it's always like a donut shape. And me and Colin always praise this like this idea, and it's not used enough in level design. It is used a lot in Super Mario 64, and in Mario games in general, but not as frequently these days, where you basically have a center thing that's the main focus of the level, and then a whole thing to go around it. So you're just like consuming the entire area, and it's like the perfect use of space. There's no fat on the games at all. And then you go to Banjo-Tooie, where it's more about exploration, and it's like fine to want to explore, and it's fine to have a large level, but you have a lot of dead space. You have a lot of space. You're like, why am I running so long right now? Like, why do I have to jump through this like series of blah blahs to do this, just to get to this, just to do that?
Blah blahs.
Like, but like, so it's like depending on like level design. It's like lean versus fat is a thing also. Like, do you want it to be exploratory? Do you want to stop and smell the roses? Or do you want them to be able to consume this game and give it replayability? You lose replayability rapidly by having the levels be tedious or having the game be consuming. So like Skyward Sword, as much as I love this game, is a Zelda that I don't play as frequently along with Twilight Princess, because you cannot beat it in under 15 hours, which is, in my opinion, is the best Zelda games. Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. These are all beatable in under 15 hours. You can even beat Breath in like 2 hours if you really want. But
in 30 minutes if you're a god.
You can do some crazy combo shit, but that doesn't mean it's one of the best Zelda games.
Right.
Well, also, Link's Awakening, that's a great one. Yeah.
So I brought up Mega Man at the very beginning of the topic. Mega Man is fairly linear. Like, here you go. Like, you play the level, you beat the boss, you go back to the hub. That's it. That's all it is. But then they introduced something. I mean, it became a little bit Metroidvania with Zero. Paul and I talked about this.
I was going to talk about Metroidvania games. Go on.
I was going to get there in a second.
So
but,
that's like another type of level. Yeah, I like that.
And those are not tedious. And actually, I'll hold off on that because Paul, you mentioned you wanted to talk about it also. Metroidvania is not tedious, and we'll get into that in a second. But what I wanted to mention is Battle Network. It has levels that are clearly delineated, different parts of the internet, different houses that you have to interact with, but you are free to do whatever you want, really. You could just wander around the internet and level up your chip collection and beat viruses till the cows come home.
It's kind of like Chrono Trigger a little.
Yes, very much like Chrono Trigger.
You can kind of do
and then eventually you wander around enough and you will find the puzzle segments that are very clearly different parts of the internet, and that's how you advance the plot. But it doesn't feel any different than just wandering around.
Yeah.
If I'm streaming Battle Network, I'm going to follow a walkthrough because I want to accomplish it. But if I'm just playing, that's one I'm more apt to play on my own because of how beautiful some of the level design is, even if it's just the overworld.
Yeah.
I think each game has to be calibrated for its specific level design. Like for a game like StarFox, for example, there's only one way levels could be, and making them long and arduous, would make the game not fun. And it would
two ways if you talk about all range mode, but
true. But you know what I'm saying? These games have to be play tested. They have to be cared for, and the people really have to play them. And some games you can tell the levels aren't as well thought out, or the controls or design isn't as well thought out. And you're like, this doesn't really match with what I'm playing. And so that's kind of, I don't know. Again, there was an era of this height of level design as well. I'm talking from the NES really to the GameCube, and now it's kind of questionable. It's coming together. Indies are crushing it, and people are realizing that a game can be short again as long as there's no fat on it. And I can't use that term enough. No fat, because when you do something that's arduous or out of the way, you're like, oh, here comes the Sacred Realm part. Get ready, guys. No spoilers.
I just got there, Josh.
Oh, did you? Okay, let's do the Sacred Realm, Paul.
I'm not there yet. Yeah, I'm not there yet.
It's not a spoiler, but so when you do stuff like that, I don't even know if that's what it's called, but when you do stuff like that, that's kind of more arduous, and it's not always unfun, but stuff that you kind of have to do, it adds fat to the game and can lengthen it. So there's in Ocarina of Time, you have character beats, but you can beat it really fast. Banjo-Kazooie, you literally just get a number of things and you go through. You have a set requirement for the entire game right off the bat, and you can just go through it, get the easiest ones to get. Some games like that are so fun to consume because the replay value is just so high. You get a game like Super Mario 64, you can beat it in 4 or 5 hours but you only need 70 stars, 50 stars if you backwards long jump through the end. And you can get any 50 stars you want each time you play and make it a different experience every time. And it doesn't always have to be that way because you're not maxing out every single time. You're not getting all the fat, but you have the option to get that. And I think that's really cool when you offer people more, but they don't need to get the more. Give them the option for the more. It's there's a chest over there, and a few other things, but you could just go straight to the end. You don't need the chest. It's not required to beat the game. That's cool. But when it adds some lore, when it adds some juicy deets and secrets and shit, that's all cool. But I don't know. It really depends how you do it. I don't like it. The Bigoron sword is an extra quest. That's great. But I wouldn't have wanted that sword to be required because then it would have been extra fat. That would have been tedious. I don't want to have to get it if I don't want to.
Yeah, I almost never get the big Goron sword.
No,
when I get
though
it,
it's cool, it's fun to get, and it's fun to have.
You three-shot every boss. Yeah. It's crazy.
Back on the Metroidvania topic.
Yeah, let's talk Metroidvania.
So, Metroidvania, I think, is actually some of the best level design. Period. And the reason I say that is because something that was introduced specifically with the Metroid games, though it does exist in other Metroidvanias, including some of the Castlevania games, is sequence breaking, right? Which means that the game the game does a brilliant job of doing what we talked about with Zelda, where it presents obstacles that will only allow you to get past them if you have the correct equipment.
Can't get into the forest
right?
temple without the
Or
hookshot.
or you know, whatever technique, or I've unlocked this door somehow, right? But what's unique about these games is they designed it so that those things can be broken, right?
Mhm.
Like if
What is it?
if I wanted to if I wanted to get past a certain point before I had, let's say, the like the jump ball or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
I could use my bombs to give me that jump, right?
Yes. Yeah.
To get to that next spot. And that's like a really simple example of sequence breaking, but it's doable. And it allows you to get to parts of the game that you wouldn't have normally been able to get to. And that's actually an intended like design in that game. You can play it in the linear fashion that they wanted you to, but you can also purposely break those conventions. And like
you
that's
can kind
something
of-
that Metroidvania games, I think, like have a unique, you know,
Capability
that's
to
something
do.
unique just to them.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can take one world and make it grow so much. It's really cool. Like it spiders out infinitely. Like Hollow Knight, in my opinion,
That's exactly where I was gonna go.
Hollow Knight is the best Metroidvania example, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's the best game. I'm not saying it's better than any of the Metroid games. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the way it executes it is so fucking well done and beautiful.
It's a quintessentially Metroidvania game.
It is a perfect Metroidvania game. You know exactly where you can't go. You know exactly where you can, and it lets you remember these things very well. But it's still such an intricate system where you start in one base area, and it is a massive, massive network that it just goes for hundreds of hours, dude. It is incredible, incredible. Yeah. You just keep going to it.
Any final thoughts on game design?
I think this is a topic we'll be revisiting at some point.
Yeah, for
because
sure we
I have
could revisit
so
this.
many thoughts, and
I have
like
a lot.
Yeah.
I need to process
Um,
them. But like
For me,
I mean,
like
game
Donkey
design
Kong
just-
and stuff, you know,
in
there's a lot
general,
of stuff.
just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, we didn't talk about Donkey Kong. We should. That's
Oh,
that's,
jeez, yeah. The
yeah,
very
we'll
first
circle back
one,
on this
even.
topic at some point.
And then
when
Donkey
Josh
Kong
has
on the
some-
Game Boy,
unbelievable,
dude. All right, but here's the thing. We do have a highlighted message from 4Gs in
he
the
say?
chat here. This is a non-video game question, which I'm super happy to. I would love to actually field more of these. But
do
here's the
Yeah,
question.
Sure. What bonus
Um,
content from us?
What animals could you defeat in the wild?
Wait, there's a first part of the question.
Oh, what was the
Ooh,
first part? I didn't see the first part.
follow-up.
That's the follow-up.
up.
Where was the first part?
It was.
If you
If
were
you were
teleported
teleported back in time, what era would you do best in, and what inventions could you create in your lifetime?
and
Oh,
then what animals could you
dang.
fight off in the
Time
wild
out.
as
So
well?
here's okay. So are we allowed to have knowledge of modern technology if
That's-
transported
yeah.
back?
I mean, we're being
is-
teleported, so I guess so.
If we're teleported. So it's
If we're
not like
teleported, I guess we
there's a
have to, yeah.
reset. Because there's tons of stuff like, you know, like you could create probably like a pretty crude combustion engine or like, you know,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that.
Iron Man.
Or firearms like way before they were, you know, invented or something like that. I
You
think
have
would
all
be,
your knowledge.
You have all your knowledge. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
yeah.
we're not.
Oh,
Honestly,
man.
I would
All
just go to the 70s and the 60s, and I'd invest
Josh.
and like have those.
I guess
have
that's
I would
my
just
why I'm voting for
invest.
Josh.
Yeah. Actually, that's
Yeah.
that's the smartest decision.
And I
Josh,
live good now, and then
Yeah.
I would like set myself up and invest in my like family and whatnot, and then like I would teleport back and like have a blast then, or live out a little bit, and then teleport back and then live an amazing life now, because I don't want to ruin now. I don't want to not
Yeah.
live in the now.
yeah,
So I think that would be the smartest, is to like affect my
yeah.
current.
That's actually really
Yeah.
smart,
That's probably the right
And I
call.
don't think I would fit anywhere else. Like, you know,
dude.
See,
like, maybe as a pharaoh.
I'm not a particularly spiritual or religious person in any way, but I have always
I
had
can
this
fight a
strange
tiger.
affinity for the 1920s.
Hmm.
Literature and
I get it.
and
Prohibition.
news reporting and things like that were sort of, that's kind of where I
Can't teleport back. Maybe the 80s
see
then.
sort of a
You guys
peak.
are hilarious. You're picking such recent history, which I get
But
that
that's-
like the
that's the
last
history
100
that
years
I'm
are like
most
the best
fascinated
like
Or I
time
would
to
go
live in.
like,
Sure.
if I could choose my class, maybe like feudal Japan in some like era there,
Yeah.
because
That's gonna be
then
Paul's
if you
answer.
could choose,
It's
your
not
class,
though, actually. You would think it would be, but here's the thing. I'm definitely a white dude. If I teleported myself back to feudal Japan, like there are examples of like foreigners excelling out there, whatever, but it'd be sketch. I don't know if they dig me.
Europe would be a cool one during the Renaissance.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Renaissance Europe would be
I
really
want to see
cool.
dinosaurs though.
I would love to see dinosaurs.
I just want to see dinosaurs. It's what I've always wanted in my life was to see dinosaurs.
You would die after that, though.
Yeah, I probably would, but fuck it, man. I'd see a T-Rex. Like that's something I always wanted. It'd be rad.
So now Forges is backpedaling a little bit and saying he should have said 150 plus back minimum.
150 years?
150. Yeah, I think that's what he means.
Okay. So you guys have to go further back then. Yeah,
Josh, you and I have to go back further.
Okay.
In that case, I would probably be some very like art Renaissance or music Renaissance period.
Yeah.
Where there were just leaps and bounds in development of either art or music. It would have to be, I'd love to listen to the original works of Beethoven or
that'd be sick.
See some of the original Shakespeare.
That'd be insane.
That actually would be pretty rad.
I think that would be a really good idea because the Renaissance was pretty free, and if
Kick
you
it
had
with
to invent...
Cesare Borgia. No, it was free compared to like the previous time, but it was still pretty whack.
I mean, you would invent a bunch of this shit that no one knew about, though, and then you become like basically an artist or like a philosopher at the time. Is like kind of how
Cesare Borgia is who our modern depiction of Jesus is modeled after. To answer that question, Borges, and he was a Vatican guy. What about the second part of the question? And wait, does the second part of the question have to be within that same time period, or could it be now? And that is like just in general. Could we beat up an animal?
He's trying to be more specific here. He's asking what time period we would do well in, and I do firmly believe that yes, I would do well in a period of art or music renaissance.
For me, it'd be like Wild Wild West kind of deal. I think honestly, but
like until like 30.
I know, but that's not far enough back, I guess. Like by his standards, close to 150 years.
No, I mean 1600s was when the Wild Wild West started.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but I want like a revolver, and a lever action rifle, like I don't want muskets.
Chainsaw.
Planning on getting into some duels. So Paul, to answer his second question would be humans.
No, but it's got to be with bare hands, right? Which also fine, but like we're talking animals. Like what? And I'm assuming he's talking about some kind of like ferocious, not like a hamster, right? So like a wolf, I think is probably the highest on the food chain that I could take out. And that's a single wolf. That's a single wolf, not multiple wolves.
Oh, good luck with finding a single wolf.
Yeah. I'm dead.
That's true too.
We're talking bare hands.
I am a
no Liam Neeson shit.
Crazy animal lover. The only thing I could probably injure is a bug.
Well, okay, we're talking life or death situation. If you had to fight, this is purely hypothetical.
I know.
I don't know, dude. I could probably take out a bear.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not going out tomorrow to go beat up a
I know
wolf.
You're not, but like I don't. I have literal
no desire or intention to.
I have zero knowledge. I mean, I could do what I see in the movies. I could emulate what I see in the movies, and it'd probably be real bad. I've never punched anything. I've never shot anything. I've never stabbed anything.
That's like my specialty.
Full stop. It makes me sick to my stomach even thinking about it. That's how much of a pacifist I am.
I would say I could beat up a bear that's my size or a little smaller.
Bear that's your size.
Yeah, my size is small. Dog. I know, but I'm saying maneuverability wise, a bear is not as agile. Their spine does not move in the same way as a human, and you could like outflank them.
Josh,
and possibly. I'm just saying.
Josh is going to be the Revenant.
I'm just saying. If I have to answer the question,
do you know how fast they can run?
I'm talking in a fight, face to face.
I know. I'm just saying. Do you know how fast they can run?
Can they turn well?
Yeah.
They
can turn. On a dime.
On a dime.
Well, then I'm fucked.
We're talking like 30 miles an hour, Josh. Like,
yeah. I definitely
I'm not
very
talking
strong.
about running it. I'm talking about.
So there, to be fair, Josh, there have been people who have fended off bears with their bare hands. Actually, usually like sticks that they've found on the ground. There's been a few accounts of that. It's super rare, but yeah, if you're a manly motherfucker, yeah, you could do it.
That's the only answer.
I think
is
so.
that
Yeah.
that's what I'm at. I am.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say
No.
it.
No.
No, I
But
could probably
it's
beat up a
unlikely.
large. I could probably beat up a dolphin. I'd say it's probably the largest I could do.
Dolphin.
Yeah,
A large dolphin that's on
I
the
could beat a dolphin,
sidewalk.
yeah.
All right. What a weird
Well, yeah.
question, but
Just
we
swimming
appreciate it.
along.
Josh can kill bears. That's what we found out. This has been a
That's what we
really
found
fun
out.
podcast, you guys. Thank you for hanging out tonight.
It went so long.
If you are watching us on the
webs.
if you're watching us live, you're on my channel. You're on my Twitch channel, which is Ryugami-san at Twitch TV or whatever. twitchtv.ryugami-san / you're watching us live. I play video games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm very sleep deprived right now. Sorry that I'm bumbling through this.
Sleepy too.
But I'll play like whatever game I'm doing as a series. So right now that is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. On Saturdays I do Samurai Saturday, and then we're back here on Sundays with the podcast at around 8 o'clock Central Time every week, just about. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please like and comment. But most of all, we really, really, really appreciate it if you share it. And then if you want to yell at me on Twitter about beating up animals, I don't actually do that. But if you want to yell at me about it, find me at Ryugami-sama. That's where we're at. Josh, where can we find you, man?
Huh? Lord Yeshua and Lord Yeshua TTV on all my shit, and I stream.
You
Sure
did.
you
Check
do.
out my
You
check
did
out my
this week.
check out my check out my screenplay coming up for the cartoon I'm writing. 4Gs, you read it. It's so good,
We're excited
right?
about that. Adam said to send it to him, by the way. I don't know if you saw it in chat.
I didn't see that. Nice, amazing. I can't wait. So I'm gonna finish it up tonight, I think, or at least go for the ending. If I get sleepy, I stop writing though because I don't want it to be bad.
Dude, I can't wait to read it. I'm
revising
really
it a
excited.
lot. Also, like I'm already gonna change some wording. I've like decided on new wording for things.
Are you cool with constructive criticism?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I edit it?
No,
Because
so
my red
buddy-
pen's
I'm not
incorrect.
going to edit
Send it to my
anything,
other friend.
but
I
like
will.
a friend of mine once had me read his screenplay, and there was a joke in it that was really bad, really corny, and also very unoriginal. It was about like, because it was like a film noir kind of jammy,
Right.
and he was doing the like narrative thing, and it was talking about like one of the female characters, and it said like she was in denial, but that's just a river in Egypt or some stupid shit like that. And
Wow, no, not like that.
and it
That's
was like
terrible.
super cliche, and I like, he genuinely asked me, he's like, hey man, what do you think? Like, I want your opinion. We're really close friends at the time, for about like 5 more minutes, and like I was like, yo, like, most of it's really good, but some of this, like, like this is a little corny. We might want to rework some of that kind of thing. Like he was asking for like constructive criticism, and I tried to give it to him nicely. I tried, but I don't know, maybe I was a little too blunt. He got pissed, and like, I don't think we've talked since then.
Wow.
It like ruined our friendship.
I don't think
It's
I would
wild.
mind. I sent it to another friend that's not Colin. And he was like giving me some good ideas on it too. And I'm like,
Sweet.
okay, so I feel like it's fine if you guys read it. Yeah.
Okay.
I
and,
know it needs to be refined first, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get it as tweaked as I need.
Cool.
Well, I'll make comments and edits. Like that's one of the things I do at the school. So I'm happy
Just
to
know
do
the
that.
style is very loose on this. It is going to
That's
be a goofy cartoon, and it is like very self-aware. So
Yeah, that's fine.
all right, we still live.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yep,
for
we
like
sure
3
are.
more
If I haven't
seconds.
said that I am on twitch.tv/another letdown this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday for Gear Up with my buddy Alex. We're playing Gears of War Tactics. Friday for Tabletop Simulator, and I think we're playing Arkham Horror? ? And Saturday for Miniatures Painting. And you can find me on Twitter at DENONCZD and YouTube at youtube.com/another letdown CF.
Awesome. Everyone have an awesome night. Thanks once again for coming out. Blink, thanks for the gifted subs, man. Really appreciate it. we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.